Hello, friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Exile 2, Crystal Souls. While I was on the way to go back to the boat in Silvar, I decided to stop into the Tower of Magi to visit the random items shop, and I remembered there's a whole corner over here that we haven't explored yet that we can now because we have the clearance for it. We've got some fun in this episode coming up. But first, steel plate is too expensive, leather armor is crap, lemonwood bow, weak energy potion. Potion of bliss could be interesting, but, Sorry, Branford, nothing I want today. But I definitely do want what's in here. Research chambers. Magi clearance required. The guards look you over and then let you pass. Magi clearance? Check. Behold, it is a hallway. You seem like someone interesting. You meet a short woman with dark skin and a radiant smile. Her raven black hair disappears into a rich, purple velvet robe. She stands to greet you. I am Madavi, of the Triad. It's good to have adventurers here. My Triad responsibilities, in part, and partially, I'm pondering a great threat to Exile. The Tower of Magi is run by the Triad, me, X, and Solberg. But Solberg is long absent. What, again? Still? And X is, well, strange. So most of the responsibility falls to me. Asking about Solberg, the Empire has him trapped in his tower, southwest of Formalo. I wish he was here. We could use his wisdom. Okay. So when you say you handle the Triad responsibilities... Okay, she's not going to tell us what the Triad responsibilities involve. But you did mention a threat to Exile. The Empire has not destroyed us for one reason. It takes great energy to teleport people down here. But we know now that they are building a mass teleporter to flood us with troops. If it is completed, we are all doomed, every one of us. We need a group of adventurers who can find out where this portal is and how to destroy it. If you're willing, I can help. Here we go! Another one of the big endgame main quests, which took us until about half the game to even discover it exists. Okay. She looks hopeful. If you are truly serious about destroying this dangerous teleporter, I will help you as best I can. Return occasionally to ask me for help, and I will tell you what I think I have learned, and what I think you can and should do. First, we need to know how to destroy it safely. Portals are very unstable and powerful things. Alas, Pern was our expert on such things, and he is away and hidden. However, I can help you with his discovery. Ask him about the teleporter. His bedroom is south of here. He told me that he left directions to find him in his dresser. He said to see them, you needed to do this. She makes a quick series of hand motions. You take note of them. Using them, you should be able to find him. Okay. Is this the bedroom we're supposed to be looking in? You search through the mage's dresser and find nothing of value. Apparently not. Aha! You make the hand motions Madavi taught you. Sure enough, after a few moments, glowing letters appear on the top of the dresser, and fade again. They said, simply, El-Pit-esque. What can we possibly do with that? And nothing in the desk. Ooh, big lab. You startle an aging magic user, lost in thought. He looks very relieved when he sees you aren't about to kill him. Vidrain. Just being jumpy at the moment. He seems to be only half there. Being near the portal does that to you, I'm afraid. And then there's the demons. What? After the portal was up for a while, a few demons came through it. They're in there now, and we don't have the strength here at the moment to flush them out. Nothing we can do until we get it. Aha. I suppose you have the clearance to know. We have a controllable teleporter. It could be a huge weapon against the Empire. We could send attackers anywhere down here, and maybe even on the surface. Unfortunately, it's not happening yet, because using it is tricky. How so? He twitches. It works off coordinates, but the coordinates are hard to calculate. You call them out when you step in, and you get sent somewhere. But figuring out what to call to not end up in solid rock is hard. Yeah, I would like to avoid being telefragged, please. The coordinates are 3 syllables, each 3 letters long. We know a few of them, but not enough to do much at the moment. And then there's those damn demons! This is some sort of holding cell for creatures used in the mage's experiments. The cold, hard stone is bare, but for a small pile of filthy bedding. The smell here makes you gag. The mages are clearly unkind, at best, to their experimentees. Shame on you, mages. Unless you're experimenting on demons. Screw those guys. Glowing letters on the wall. Portal room. Enter with caution. Have codes ready. And a number of protective runes on the floor. This is a narrow passage looping around a central room of black stone. Protective runes fill the corridor, and the air crackles with energy. It's exciting, but it doesn't feel entirely safe. It's no wonder the mages don't spend much time in here. The central chamber glows and crackles with power, all of it emanating from a huge, glowing portal, twice your height, dominating the room. When you enter, a demon steps out of the teleporter. He sees you and laughs. Then, more hellspawn appear around him and attack. Okay, so there's at least one demon, and then a bunch of little hordlings and imps. Only one demon? This shouldn't be too bad. Oh, right. Martyr's Shield does that. Okay, imps are a little tougher than I thought. Maybe they got beefed up in this game to make room for the Hordlings as even weaker enemies? I don't know. There we go. All done. No more demons. At least certainly no more demons that we have to worry about right here. And this is a very good time to drop a save. You now stand directly before the portal. The energy it puts off makes your skin feel like it's cooking, and the odd wind coming from it makes your hair writhe like snakes. So, want to try to use this thing? You approach the portal. A deep voice calls out to you. Speak your destination and enter. And let's try out that phrase we learned just a few minutes ago. Sparks fly off the portal as you move towards it. Waves of force fly out, trying to push you back. Eventually, however, you struggle in and through to find yourself somewhere else. In fact, we are inside the barrier tower that we first discovered way back in Chapter 2 of this game. You meet a wreck. The man before you is unkempt in the extreme, distracted, clearly has been without sleep for some time, and, as your nose indicates, has not bathed for some time. His wizard's robes are crumpled and stained. He notices you. Well, he turns somewhat in your direction, and his eyes focus on the wall behind you. Pern, he says. Then he says it again, and again. It's as if he forgot he told you. Demon. His eyes continue to fail to focus on you. Demon. Every hour. All time. Must focus. Demon will control. Strong. Must battle and battle. Should not talk. Must focus. Sometimes he controls me. Must focus. Must control it. His face suddenly started twitching, spasms racing back and forth across his face. Slowly, he regains control. That's troubling. A frail man in wizard's robes lies prone inside the pentagram. His robe is torn, and scratches and burns cover his body. He moans. He looks up at you, barely able to turn his head. Pern. Must not talk. Must gain control. Must be free. Demon. Control. Demon. The words suddenly become much more painful to say. Over there. Don't let him fool you. Mustn't talk. Too much energy. Need help. He speaks through tightly clenched teeth. Demon put me in here. Free me. Slay it. Help. of my pentagram. Must slay demon. Suddenly a seizure grips him, spasms wrenching him back and forth inside the pentagram. Then, as suddenly as it began, the writhing ends. Oh, okay. So one of these guys is the wizard and one of them is a demon. I wonder if either of them would mind if I took that scroll. You flip through the tome. It is clearly on demonology and other grim topics. It's hard to make things out, however, because the book has become defaced. The pages are covered, and smeared, with all manner of deranged ravings. Well, that was less than helpful. You reach for one of the books, but sparks start to dance around them as your hand gets close. One of them leaps off and severely burns your finger. You back off before you get killed. Okay. Maybe I need to ask one of these guys about teleporter? He suddenly starts to struggle, trying to gain a few moments of lucidity. He looks at you. Third bookshelf from west. Red book. Then his eyes glaze over. He groans and grips his head, then moans. It takes some time for him to regain control. And just for funsies, does this one know about the teleportation research? For a moment, it's as if it didn't hear you. Then it says, first kill demon. Then. Ha. On the top shelf, you see a slender red book, carefully set apart from the other books. You carefully reach for it, trying to avoid the sparks that start coming off the other books. Finally, you retrieve the tome, avoiding the magical trap on the books around it. You open it and start reading. It is a treatise on teleportation portals, their creation and destruction, and the dangers involved. Most of it is beyond even adventurers as talented and knowledgeable as yourselves. One ritual, however, near the back catches your interest. It is a brief, intricate incantation for closing a portal that has been disrupted and about to catastrophically explode, an almost impossible task. The ritual isn't discussed in great detail, because it requires possession of a specially prepared scepter made of onyx. Such scepters are very rare and difficult to make. However, you carefully copy down this ritual, just in case it comes in handy. And doesn't show up in our special items, but we do, in fact, know the thing now. So we could potentially intervene here in the struggle between wizard and demon. The pentagram is very delicate looking, simply a thin tracing of some whitish powder, with a slender lit candle on each point of the star. It would only take a moment to disrupt the pentagram. The question is, should you? One of the wizards wants very much for us to destroy the pentagram. The prone body of the ragged human inside the pentagram slowly rises from the floor, a touching look of relief on his face. Then his form shifts and flows into a demon, 12 feet high, flames shooting from its finger. On cue, several hell beasts appear beside it, ready for action. Pern grabs his head and screams, too weakened to defend himself against the beast's mental attack. Then he falls. They attack you next. Oh. Pern, you fool. Engaging in a mental contest of wills with a Hakai. Let's not do that. Unfortunately, we cannot actually help Pern gain a strong advantage over said demon. He's gonna have to get out of this one himself. Or not. But hey, at least we got the information we were after. Door is locked. Wait. How do we get out of here? Asking about the tower gets a tired look. Must be something around here. Ow. Okay, I guess you really don't want that demon getting out of here easily. Only one thing left to try. There is a glowing greenish portal here. And we're back in the Tower of Magi! Hooray! Let's rest. And now we're ready and raring to go and get beat up again. No, I think we need a key or something to get in there. And right back to the portal we go. Oh, actually, should probably ask Madavi about this onyx scepter that seems important. I thought for sure she would mention something about that. But we have heard that the onyx scepter was last known to be in the lair of Sulfurus the dragon, way on the western end of Exile beyond Fort Remote. We'll be going there eventually. At some point we're also going to have to find where this Empire mass teleporter is. But that will happen in due course. Anyway, we have a few other things that we can do with this teleporter. We know that we can revisit the castle with Ain F. Wicks. Does anything actually happen if we try putting some other selection of syllables in here? The voice booms. Those are not valid coordinates. Begone! You back away from the portal before something hurts you. Oh, very good to know that they've installed some safety protocols. Anyway, there's a few other areas of interest, and there is one code that I totally could have gotten by now, haven't actually on screen. And Beltor takes us to Formalo. Yes, hidden over on this chunk of the city wall is a strange message carved into the wall. And Beltor. It took a little bit of poking around off screen, but I did discover this little emergency exit passage. Anyway, there's not a lot for us to do in Formalo itself. Unless I've got Scorn with level 4 spells, I do not. But nearby Formalo, we can revisit a couple of locations. Let me see. No, I still can't do anything with this. I need something else to get there. Surprise, Sheepshaver crash! Everything's fine, nothing is ruined, teleportation is definitely very safe. Ahem. Anyway, I am returning to the lizard cave up here because there is a bit of loot we didn't quite get around to, and a few lizards. Ow. Let's turn the lights on, shall we? Anyway. Okay, fire lizards are marginally less of a threat than they once were. Anyhow, there are two ways over to this special. We can either cast Firewalk and go across the lava, or we can use this little secret passage. On a tiny ledge, kept warm by the lava, you find a clutch of small, reddish eggs. It'd be easy to take one. And this time, take one we shall. That is a fire lizard egg, and there is a certain mage back at the Tower of Magi who wants one. So we're going to fill that quest at long last. And I'm just going to ignore you guys. Not worth the XP. But there is one more point of interest on this square of the map. Let's go visit Motrax again! Yay! And by visit Motrax, I really mean go into the mage clearance zone that we were locked out of previously. Sorry, Motrax. I still love you. Sadly, Motrax really doesn't have anything new to say at this point. Can I not? Okay, I have to unlock the doors first. Beyond the door is a short corridor. In alcoves on either side, you see large, ominous runes set into the floor. Magi clearance only beyond this point. You have been warned. You walk past the runes. They vibrate red briefly, then return to normal. I wonder how we show that we've upgraded our clearance. Do we carry some sort of enchanted badge? You would think the inner door would not be locked once we have proven we are worthy. You are at the entrance to a small but very well-equipped laboratory. Cauldrons bubble and splash to the south, and flasks and pipes crowd a long table at the east side of the room. In the middle of a cloud of acrid smoke, you see a short, heavy-set woman. She carries and maneuvers several vials with agile, practiced hands. She keeps fiddling with the vials, barely seeming to hear your voice. It hardly matters. Call me Enla. I try to heal Motrax, and I question him. She adds some moss to a vial. It fizzes. Motrax was horribly wounded in an Empire attack. He barely held off the invaders. The wounds are weakening him. I'm trying to save him so he can answer our questions. Okay, I respect your need for knowledge and tactics, but you're not trying to save him because he is the best dragon? I question him about the Vanatai. They're probably a horrible menace. He says he doesn't remember anything about them, but I don't believe it. It'll take time, but I'm sure I can get something valuable about them from him. Don't question him too much. We need him to have all the strength he can get. So what is down... Actually, is there anything in the corner that I'm not finding? Hello? This room is lit with grim red light from 4 fire pits. The foul smoke is almost suffocating. You can barely see a large pentagram to the northwest. Fortunately, it's empty. Yes, I do believe we've had enough of demon summoning shenanigans for this episode. The woman before you is clearly young. In years, anyway. However, experiences have blasted her in a horrifying way. Her young body is topped by a worn, weary, mottled face and gray, sparse hair. I am Linda, of the Triad. Her voice is flat. Her eyes don't focus on you. I am of the Triad. Her voice is monotone, detached. We ran the Tower of Magi. I was just sent here. Just sent. For a little while. I will find what went wrong. At the tower, we did a summoning. It didn't work. The demon had to be killed. But it can work again. Against the Empire. I will find out how. Ad Sakai. I can say the name, and I don't hear him anymore. Saying the name is safe. Safe. Her monotone voice drones on. It's as if she doesn't know you're here. We lost control, though. When we caught him, he had to be killed. They killed him. The next time it will work. If only I had the scepter. If only we had it. We didn't know what it did. Now we do. Hold it out and touch a dimensional rift with it, and it closes. The rift does. Very powerful. It heals space. If only I had it. But it's gone. Very interesting. You take note of this. Okay, so that was some valuable information, but also, how dare you keep Linda this close to Motrax? If anyone was curious, this is what happened to her. She is no longer an active member of the Triad. She's been shunted off here to help in research, or at least keep her busy and or out of the way. She is presumably less dangerous now. You try to examine the books. However, when you touch one, you receive a mild shock. You pull your hand back and decide to leave them alone. Humph. Unfriendly area, isn't it? A pale, bent spider of a man hunches over the table, spindly claws rearranging pieces of paper. His head snaps around to see you. He's very old, but he's also very agile, and very alert. I'm Ostoth, he snaps. What do you want? I'm here to question the lizard. What else? I'm very glad to give information we've obtained, if I think you should have it. Desire to help and irritation at interruption are very precariously balanced in this one. Also, how dare you call Motrax a lizard? He is a dragon. He nods. Motrax, dragon. Age? Between 800 and 900 years. Estimated remaining lifespan? 100 years. If that. Maybe days. We have to get from him what we can, while we can. I ask him about the underworld, trying to find out things about these caves that can help us against the invaders. You notice his papers are covered with maps. If there's anything interesting, then troops can be teleported there to investigate. We found a few things, but I can't tell you about them. He looks at you suspiciously. I know you have at least Magi clearance, but that's it. Look, there is a portal in the Tower of Magi that can send soldiers places all over Exile. But that's all I feel safe telling you. Don't try to find out more. Too late, already did. There is snooping to be done. Hello, what's this? A feldspar key. I'm not sure I should know about this yet, but, everybody here is rude, so yoink. Also, I'm just doing my job as an adventurer, checking all the suspiciously empty areas of the map. And another set of runes. Okay. And I think, unless I'm forgetting something, that is basically all we can do in the Cave of Motrax. So I'll see you all back at the boat. Have a good one, everybody.